in spiritual terms, three basic practices that we developed as humans are actually meditation, prayer, and contemplation. Meditation is when you get in touch with your ultimate I. That's why we meditate. That's why we close our eyes. So we kind of shut off the outside world. We close our eyes in the universe. Not the outer universe, but in the universe. So we discover infinity and eternity here, timelessness here, if we do meditation properly. There are various meditations. But meditation is a turn towards the I. So prayer, we pray to God, to that ultimate you, to the Tao. It's a kind of a we resonance. Do you see that? The last boundary of we is God, there stands. And prayer can be very, 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 very powerful if it's done properly. If it's not petitionary prayer, if you really pray to God, if you really open yourself so much that the core of your being becomes totally empty, that's prayer pushed to the core, really. You love God, or you pray to God so much, to that ultimate Tao, great Tao, that you're totally empty. You just empty yourself. In that, the kirtan is ultimately that. There's lots of kirtan around. You become so devotional, you open yourself so much that there is nothing here left but awareness. There is no separate self, it's just awareness. It's ecstatic. It's a little bit more complicated way to discover your true self, but it can work. And the third way is when you contemplate the it. So there is individual awareness contemplating ocean, and you're like, wow, look at this. But what does the ocean say about you? And if you really surrender to that contemplation, it actually wipes you out. I know a lot of people who did a lot of contemplations and had very deep spiritual experiences. Actually, when I studied philosophy is a very contemplative activity. You study society, you contemplate nature, you contemplate culture, you contemplate certain patterns. So for years you've done that, and all of a sudden there is Kensho, there is Satori, there is a deep spiritual experience, because at some point it wipes you out. So that's the advantage of contemplation. And Santa Cruz is fantastic for contemplation because there's so much beauty here. Natural beauty, cultural beauty, there are cool people too. So you're at the ocean, you just look at it, and at some point it just wipes you out. You're empty because of that beauty. You just, that's what contemplation does. And even in some intellectual sense, when you recognize certain patterns, how everything fits together, you're like, wow. Mathematics can do that. You're figuring things out, and all of a sudden things come out. It wipes you out. So that's the beauty of contemplation. It's usually considered that meditation is the easiest path, the surest bet towards your true self. And that was my experience, but I have to say that if you are more on a prayer path, on contemplation path, just follow it. Just follow it. I haven't done a lot of prayer. Prayer is something fairly new to me, although it's a very, very powerful practice. It's done properly on a deeper level. I've done a lot of contemplation and had a lot of deep spiritual experiences based on contemplation. But meditation was definitely the most effective spiritual practice. But notice that even with meditation, prayer, and contemplation, there is I with it. Meditation, ultimate I. Prayer, ultimate you, or Tao, or God. And contemplation, ultimate it.